Tonight, you might end your day by staring at a glowing phone, walking through a bright kitchen, then wondering why your brain refuses to sleep. Now imagine that same night with no electricity, no lamp, no streetlight, no phone, no clock, and no tiny charger light blinking in the corner like it knows your secrets. For most of human history, sunset was not just the end of the day. It was the beginning of a different world. The ground faded. Trees turned into black shapes. Every sound became suspicious. A bridge cracked somewhere in the dark, and ancient humans had to ask a very important question. Is that wind, or am I about to become dinner? So what did ancient humans actually do at night? They did not simply sleep for 12 perfect hours like peaceful cavemen in a cartoon. They guarded fire, repaired tools, watched for danger, cared for children, told stories, remembered dreams, and waited for morning inside a small circle of light. If you like strange little trips into ancient human life, stay with this channel, because the past gets much weirder when you imagine it as real daily life. The first thing to understand is that darkness used to be truly dark. Modern people say it is dark while standing in a bedroom full of glowing screens, window light, car headlights, and little electronic dots. Ancient darkness was different. Away from fire and moonlight, the world could become almost invisible. Then humans are not great night animals. A cat can move through darkness with confidence. An owl can hunt in it. A wolf can smell and hear things long before a human understands what is happening. But humans in the dark are basically nervous apes with big imaginations. That is why fire changed everything. Fire did not just cook food. Fire changed time. Before fire, night was mostly a dangerous pause. After fire, night became usable. A campfire made a small island in the darkness. Inside that island, people could see faces, share warmth, protect children, and feel safer. Outside that island, the old night was still waiting. Imagine a small group after sunset. They have spent the day walking, tracking, gathering, digging, carrying, and watching the landscape. Nobody is relaxed in the modern sense. Survival is not a hobby. It is the whole schedule. Then the sun disappears. People move closer together. Someone adds wood to the fire. Someone checks a spear point. Someone scrapes a hide. Someone shares cooked food. A child gets sleepy against an adult. Another person stares into the darkness, listening. This was night work. Tools needed repair. Food needed processing. The fire needed attention. People needed comfort. The group needed to stay alert enough to survive, but calm enough to rest. But the most important night activity may have been talking. During the day, conversation was probably practical. Where is food? Where is water? Who saw tracks? Which path is safe? Who forgot to carry the useful thing again? That night, the pressure changed. The fire made space for imagination. Animals, spirits, mistakes, rival groups, and strange dreams. People could tell stories about hunts, storms, ancestors. Some stories warned children. Some made people laugh. Some explained the world. Some helped the group remember what mattered. Before books, schools, or writing, stories were how humans stored knowledge. A boring warning can be forgotten, but a funny story about one foolish person who ignored the warning can survive for generations. This is one reason night mattered so much. Around the fire, humans practiced being human. They shared invisible things. Memories, fears, plans, jokes, grief, hope. A leopard does not sit with other leopards and tell a dramatic story about the legendary leopard who invented better hunting. Humans do that kind of thing constantly, and the night gave us room to do it. That circle of firelight helped turn a group of tired animals into a community. And here is the stranger part. Ancient humans may not have slept the way many of us think humans are supposed to sleep. Today, we imagine good sleep as one clean block. You lie down, disappear for 8 hours, then wake up refreshed like a phone charged to 100%. In reality, many people wake up at night and think something is wrong with them. But for much of human history, waking in the middle of the night may have been completely normal. People often slept in two parts. First sleep, then a quiet waking period, then second sleep. That middle waking time was not treated like a disaster. It was not, "Oh no, my sleep is broken. My life is ruined. I need to stare at the ceiling and calculate how tired I will be tomorrow." It was just part of the night. A person might wake after several hours of sleep, lie quietly in the dark, listen to the fire, think about a dream, whisper to someone nearby, check on a child, or step carefully outside the shelter if it was safe enough. This quiet period may have felt very different from modern insomnia. There were no glowing screens, no alarm clock counting down the hours, no work emails waiting like tiny digital predators. There was just darkness, breathing, firelight, and thought. And that is important because modern people often panic when they wake at night. But your body may not be broken. It may be remembering an older rhythm. For ancient humans, night was probably a mix of sleep, alertness, and social time. Not everyone slept at once. Someone might wake when another person was still resting. Someone might notice the fire getting low. Someone might hear animals moving outside the camp. The night required trust. You had to trust the people around you. You had to trust that someone would notice danger. You had to trust that the fire would survive until morning. That trust shaped human life. A lone human in the ancient night was fragile. A group around a fire was something else. It was a living alarm system, a childcare system, a memory system, and a tiny emotional support group with terrible dental care. And above them was a sky most modern people almost never see. No city glow, no airplane lights, no glowing signs, just stars filling the darkness. The Milky Way was not a special vacation view. It was the ceiling. Imagine waking in the night, hearing soft breathing around you, smelling smoke, feeling cold air on your face, and looking up at more stars than your mind can count. That kind of night does something to a person. It makes the world feel huge. It makes the group feel precious. It makes morning feel like a victory. Today we have conquered the night in many ways. We press a switch and darkness disappears. We stay awake long after sunset. We eat, work, scroll, shop, argue, watch videos, then tell ourselves this is normal, and in many ways it is useful. Nobody wants to be hunted by a leopard while looking for the bathroom, but we also lost something. We lost the slow ending of the day. We lost the natural darkness that told the body to rest. We lost the quiet middle hours where the mind could wander without being attacked by notifications. Ancient humans did not have easier lives. Their nights could be cold, frightening, uncomfortable, and dangerous. But their nights also gave them space for stories, closeness, reflection, and wonder. They did not just survive the dark. They learned to use it. They turned fire into safety. They turned fear into stories. They turned waiting into imagination. And somewhere in those long nights, humans became better at remembering, bonding, planning, and dreaming. So the next time you wake at 2 in the morning, maybe you cannot immediately decide your brain is broken. Maybe for one quiet moment, imagine an ancestor waking under a huge sky, hearing the fire crackle, and staring into the dark with the same strange human mind you carry now. Brain vs. Plan thanks you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more strange stories about how ancient humans actually lived. Because before alarm clocks, before bedrooms, before light switches, and before the world became bright all night long, our ancestors sat together in the dark and learned how to be human.